We provide web development consultancy for companies and developer support. So basically, it's not bosses, it's kind of like lead developers or team managers calling us to come in and help out. We've been doing full stack since before it was called full stack, which is so we'll have years of experience. Anyway, that's enough about it. You can come and ask about what my company does tonight. I want to talk about REST, and as Christy talked about this morning, use loads of APIs. There's loads of APIs out there. All of them are built with. Thankfully, people are not building APIs, SOAP APIs. Please don't use SOAP. Burn it with fire. It's been my nightmare for years. Luckily, for the last 10 years, we've done something a little bit more sensible. So basically, in REST, I'm just going to go over this. Do you all know the REST? How REST works? Basically, it is a representational state transfer, so we can actually say, here's a JSON object, and you get this normalized URL to go and get the state. So for example, if I want to get a user with ID of 1, I append this to the URL, and hey, press search, user of 1. This is great. If you want to go and get that person's posts, let's say he's doing a blog, you're going to get this user person's posts. If I want to go and get an individual post, I can put user 1, get post number 37. And it's very good because it defines a very systematic structure, and the server defines that structure, and it's very easy, should be. But of course, this is one thing. This is a utopia of data services used all the time. So how dare I come up here and say, question what is actually wrong with REST? All the APIs work like that. They're giving us data, but what's wrong with this? Well, has anyone played with the Twitter API? Yeah, right. When you got a tweet, which is 140 characters, what did you do? A little bit more than 140 characters. Something like that. I had to make it really small. Now think twice before tweeting, right? Because all this data, in fact, there's going to be more data because if you have images and mentions, it's going to have another block of this stuff. It's pretty bloated. And there's too many requests, right? So if I want to go and get each individual post, some APIs have got links to provide you a link to embedded data. So you go and get the person, go and get individual posts. You can nest stuff within it, but that's kind of bloating up the model, right? And you get, or you create endpoints that don't actually describe one thing, which is the whole point of REST. You actually describe multiple things added together, embedded stuff. And of course, you need to version them. So you have version 1, remember, right? You got like nearly every single REST API has v1, and v2. That's completely broken because they changed how OAuth works. Now it has OAuth 1 and OAuth 2. So this is an interesting solution. How about nested queries, right? So how you do it is like I get user 1, so you get user 1 with their friends, or you can do something like users with a query string include friends. This doesn't feel clean, right? Because it's now I'm having to define how you go and get that data. If there's only a way that you can put it all together. And of course, then you can come to versioning, right? So adding stuff to your API is not too problematic. It bloats it, right? But let's say, for example, I wanted to add categories. Yeah, that's easy. Let's just add categories. All of my clients won't mind, right? Because they're not using it. But how about if I change the date format from this silly format to something more, UTC or ISO 8601, for example, right? That's not totally not going to break all the clients. I'm going to go and tell them, but they're not going to change their apps, they're going to display things wrongly. It might work, but or can add another entry, published at ISO. Right? So it's kind of problematic. So with all of those problems in mind, comes the solution. Dun, 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 enter GraphQL. It's a technology by Facebook. You know a little bit about APIs. They have a bit of data. This is some of the data, our data that we sell into their clients. And essentially, it's a query language for APIs. So whether you can call this data set and get exactly what you want. It's like HTML but for REST endpoint. It's also a runtime for fulfilling those things with your system, with your APIs. Obviously, this is otherwise So Facebook got to a problem, I don't know if you remember a few years back, where actually the app on the mobile was actually just a web wrapper around a mobile version of Facebook. And they had a real problem. So they started looking at ways they could fix this. So they came up, they went and investigated and evaluated REST as a solution and other options, but they found some problems with it. So they came up with GraphQL. So it's a basic query language developed by Facebook. They've used internally since about 2012 and open sourced it and published it in 2015. So it's been used, it's trial phase. There's another part of it really was released in August 2015, and there's an actual specification. So you can go look at the specification and see how it's done. So you can create your own clients for it or your own servers for it. It works already. So the nice thing about it is that it's hierarchical. So you can actually embed data or ask questions in a hierarchy. It is product centric, so it depends on your product. So the names of your domain will be in the query language itself. So it makes sense for your stuff. It uses strong typing, which means that you can have syntax completion and syntax checking before you actually submit queries, which is very nice. You can do client-specified queries, and you can tell if they're correct, and it's introspective, so it knows at which point what value should be in. I'm going to show you all the stuff. So here's some data. I want you to memorize it. Memorize it. Good. So this is a pretend tweet from my actual podcast. I've trimmed out a lot of stuff, but let's pretend it's there. So I'm going to do some GraphQL query. So basically, I can go and get a tweet with an ID of XYZ, whatever the long string, right? And all I want is a text. Dun 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 dun. Look at that. From that whole tweet, I remove all that junk, and I'm only getting the text that I want. Right? Pretty easy. But how about if I want to get the username? If I want to get the username, I can go into this is a hierarchical thing. I can go get the user and say, I want his name. Pretty simple, right? So it's like a sequence, like select user.name form within a join, etc. You can also get mix the data up, right? Because I want to have the person that tweeted, and I want to have what they tweeted. So I can go here, I want the text, so that's the text, and I want to have the user's name. I don't need to have his ID, his location, his avatar. His avatar is a small avatar version, if you've seen the tweet structure. I actually can go and say, hey, let's go and get the text, let's go and get the user, go and get his friends, and go and get their names. So that's pretty handy. I can go and get all of this data in a nice format, and it will give me back the data. Now, the next part we have to really talk about is, let's talk about mutations. What are mutations, generally? It's either adding something or modifying something that already exists. The reason I'm putting a mutated fish is because that's what GraphQL kind of calls their changing of the data for mutations. In REST, it's from post and get, right? It's a post and get. So what you can do is you can do a create street, for example, as an endpoint, and then I just pass in the data that I wanted to do. And then I can do another thing as well, which you can actually say, here's the data I'm putting in, and after I put it in, can you give me this back? Because this is quite a frequent thing. Like if you're using, anytime you insert something into a database, you always want to have something returned out of it, right? You want to have the ID, the row, because now you get the data display, right? But you can do this in one step. So you can go, here's a code tweet, give me the ID and the name. And then you comes out and you comes out. That's what it returns from. So there's various different variables that you can pass into it. So strongly typed. You can have like your standard ones, like int, string, doubles, floats, etc., etc. But you can also define objects and say this object as a post, as an author, this is your domain, right? So they have names and have input types. You can also define input type stuff that we accept going in, like arrays, basically. Or maps, how do you describe dictionaries? And whichever programming language you have, collections. Has anyone heard of swapping? One person, what is it? Good. Right? The Star Wars API is awesome. If you like building APIs and building clients, they give you a whole bunch of data that you can play around with, which is sloppy. So the Star Wars API is, so here you can see if I go to person 1 or people 1, I get Luke Skywalker, and if I want to find out which films he's in, clue, there's quite a few of them. There's actually 3. It returns them, but it is not returning the actual film. Right? It's not returning the film data. I want to know what the opening scroll was for all the films that Luke Skywalker was in. Right? How many calls is that? Just one. Cool. Right. Because I get Luke Skywalker, then I have to go and get each individual film. Right? Great. I have polluted the internet. And all I wanted was the opening scroll. But I don't even want to know like what his birth year was. What is eye color, right? So I'm polluting the internet. That's how I see it. Anyway. I'm making the internet messy and putting more data out there. I'm using my mobile data type, so that's using one. Right? But if you put Star Wars and GraphQL, it becomes impressive, most impressive. It's a better way of doing it. So let's have a look at how we would do that. So we want to do what's the opening scroll for all the films that Luke Skywalker is in. It's very so let's go and get, so this is doing, let's go and get the person, right? So at the moment, I don't know anything about this API. So what will happen now, right? Normally, in your day-to-day job, you'd go off and look at the docs, right? Which are obviously really up to date and really well written because no one ever keeps docs up to date and they're never very well written. It took me days to find out some old stuff, or old zero stuff that was actually documented in a blog. Look, thanks. I won't get that time back. So let's go and do it. Oh look, it actually tells me, like the API design, like GraphQL, implemented on the server, is actually designed to give you all this. So we can get old films, I can get film, or people. Let's go and do it first. Let's do a open the bracket. So I'm going to pass an attribute of an argument to it. I'm going to do person ID, because I think it's person number 1. Now, if I can, now what do I want to get from him? I want to get him, right, nothing. There's literally nothing. So it's telling me an error because I didn't ask for him. There's going to be his name, just to make sure that I'm getting the right guy. Okay. Yay, we've got Luke Skywalker, right? So what else can we get? We can go and get all his films, right? That's what we're trying to get. The opening score of all the films that he can make. So let's go, what else can we get? Let's go and have a look at what we can get. We can get film connection. Right, so this is a connection to the films. And just follow along with me for a second. We're going to go and get metadata about a query, right? So because this is going to go and get me a whole bunch of stuff. So I can get page info. Now this tells me how many records I'm going to get. Yeah? I can say get the edges, get everything. So get everything out. Now for each node that we get from there, right now each node is going to be a film. So we're going to have title, episode ID, so let's do the title. So A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. And what we can do is now get the call. There you go, one hit, all I've got is a person, opening call, like. So that's a lot easier. How am I going to do it? We've run out of battery. Cool, great. So now we've got plenty of time. No one's going to know. All right. Well, that's a problem with the data and not a problem with the program. The Empire has not been doing its job. They should get digital transformation team from your side. In 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to build a server really quickly. I'll talk really quickly, you're going to follow. But anyway, so you can actually, that's the client side. And you might be going, well, that's all great, but what if we want to provide GraphQL stuff, right? I'm going to quickly show you how you can do this in Node. But you can do it from every other language, right? So, well, I'd say most languages out there, most ones don't matter. Anyway, there's libraries for that you can just implement it. If your language is not on here, it really does matter. I'm sure there's a library out there for it. So let's build our own server. Okay, so first off, I'm going to type pretty fast. So you're going to create a folder, cd into it, npm initialize it because you have to do that, and there you go. So you've got your GraphQL page. Great, awesome. So then you have to install Babel because we're doing JavaScript, and that's what you have to do because apparently law. So you put ES20 fine. That's the modern way to do it. In my days, we just included JavaScript output. So then you just install GraphQL. I couldn't get the output from the hotel, so it actually says GraphQL installed. Awesome. Right, so then you're going to import some of the stuff. The stuff that you're going to import from GraphQL is basically the object types you're going to use. Right? That's the first few: GraphQL, null, schema, blah, blah, blah. We're going to define a schema, so how it knows what you're going to have in there is the schema, and then we have GraphQL, which is going to define. Great. So here we define a query. So the query is going to be the root query, in other words, the first thing that you're going to hit. And if you just see it out there, it's going to just echo stuff out, right? And now we say to our schema, you don't have to worry about that. We've got the only important thing here is actually the resolver, because this is actually what's going to resolve the data. And each one of your objects will have a resolver which knows how to go and get the data. I mean, in your model, you know how to go and get the data because you're presenting that as an API, right? You know how to select stuff and users, because that's how you select stuff. And you have a schema, and you add this query into the schema. That's so now you can use GraphQL to call that schema, and then just pass something. So we're going to pass a query that says echo this message. So we'll go, we then call it. This will call our schema. We can do it. This obviously this input would be you getting input from the outside. However you want to receive people's GraphQL, right? So you can set it up and call it, and that's it. So what we want to do is let's create a GraphQL schema that actually brings in an actual query. So here's a query actually going in there. This is a message, and we can put an input. So this is a value that we're putting. That's actually this value. So we can change variables in the query. We can create a query but change variables in it. So like go and get a person, but we want to just change the ID. So I have a query and I have a value that we good. Now, of course, this is all great, but you want to use a data source, and this is where the resolver is coming. So let's pretend we're using MongoDB. There you go. We've got MongoDB. You all know MongoDB? It's a document store for like 2 minutes. I'm going very fast at reading these slides. So what I've done here in this create author communication, right? So what I can do is pass an argument, and I can, whatever goes into this argument, I can add it as an object, right? So I'm doing an insert, and then I'm returning. Right? So that's a mutation, but that mutation is not going to work here. Okay? So we're passing an argument, so we're creating the argument, and we're inserting it to this. So now remember our schema from 5 slides back. Right? We have a schema that had queries in it. Now we can say there's a mutation. So this is how we can modify people. If you want to create an author, you can just, these are the mutations that we're going to have in there. In other words, this is how we modify our data. So now if I do certain things, it will go into the database and return the actual object. Then I can do a query, right? So I'm actually going to query my database. I'll take it and I'll do that now. So my root query has got a field called authors. That's like new GraphQL list. In other words, it returns a list of authors. This is the function that actually does it, or calls the thing that actually does it. I'm actually directly querying here, but this could go into the API, return the database, and find everything correct. And then to do that, you go and get the item dimented, and then the database. So that's essentially GraphQL. That's how you can create your own GraphQL thing. There's plenty of tutorials that are a little bit quicker than this. better because it has more depth to it than doing on my own time. Can I take any questions? 1 minute. All right, that's fine because here's a useful link that you can memorize in 1 minute. You done? All right. So yeah. So go to GraphQL.org. You're going to know more about how to use it. What's interesting about it is, which I found out the other day, just because I was trying to do some stuff, is that who's on GitHub? Right. All the GitHub API is now GraphQL. Right. They've moved to GraphQL. So there's a real case. I mean, it's not just Facebook. Look at your data and blog posts. Is actually for GitHub something actually useful. You're actually using this because that's data going out. There's loads of nice links. You can catch me at Mark Brew. That's my personal website. You can also go to localhost.fm, which is my podcast. Questions. So do you have any questions? 30 seconds. We have any time. You can't make me go. Yeah.
How the focus on it is also the message, right? So you get users, you lose friends.
Right.
You're happy to do it, rather than specify it. So you say don't do it with REST, but then do it with
Right. I mean, the thing is, especially when you're trying to return, do it. Like a good example is, as I said at the beginning, if you want to get a big tweak, it's great. You're going to use all of it. Hey, use a single URL, right? But it's just as useful. I would mix and match depends. So
use both.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is you have your API, and maybe you have an endpoint for search or GraphQL, maybe, and that's where you send GraphQL queries to people that want to specify. But as with everything in life with technology, it's sometimes best to have both worlds because there's different use cases. This doesn't replace everything.
Well, a lot of people say that you should just get first and go kill, so that's
Well,
a lot
get on
of
that.
comparisons sets or the data requests is more from the client side rather than giving information on the side.
Right, but going back to the beginning, the whole point about it was to provide less information, yes, less useless information. Because like, I can tell you many things that I've built, I'm using an API and I'm using like 1% of it, so I wanted to get a number of commits, I wanted to get who's actually commenting on the post. I don't want to get the actual commenting stuff. I would use both. The one question that I'm also going to have.
So, if you have the option of where the construction made to do involved in that, it's very more creating more today.
Yeah. Probably. I haven't come across them. I haven't come across the whole site. I'm sure there's going to be some examples. At the moment, the libraries for GraphQL, well, the library that also uses GraphQL, is kind of meant to be added onto the existing APIs, and then you do the calls internally. If you're going to be building from scratch, I don't know if there's anything that converts your domain into that. There is coming to me later. There is a project for that. I'm sounding